Of course, Trump is still dealing with the fallout from his racist tweets, which became a racist chant, which will soon be a racist breakfast cereal. He was asked why he wouldn't let the story go.
Why you escalated your feud with the 4 congresswomen and racial tensions in Surrogates?
Well, I think they're very bad for our country. I really think they must hate our country. Nobody knows how to handle them. I feel they're easy to handle.
What do you mean they're easy to handle? This has been a public relations nightmare for you for the last 8 days. Nobody knows how to handle a bucking bronco, but for me, it's easy to handle. I let it knock me to the ground and then trample me until it gets tired, okay? Yeehaw, yeehaw. She-bang. You're very nice. She-bang. Trump's been all over the map for the past week. Wednesday, he whipped his rally crowd into a froth over Representative Ilhan Omar, so they chanted, "Send her back." On Thursday, Trump said he didn't agree with the chant. On Friday, he said the chanting crowd were incredible patriots. Then he tweeted a video from his rally adding, "As you can see, I did nothing to lead people on, nor was I particularly happy with their chant. It's not my fault. All I did was sing, 'Sweet Caroline,' and the crowd sang, 'Send her back.'" He also continued his attacks against the 4 congresswomen known as the Squad. I don't know what to do. He said, karate. There's a karate. He saved his harshest words for Omar.
But I'm unhappy when a congresswoman goes and said, "I'm going to be the president's nightmare." She's going to be the president's nightmare. She's lucky to be where she is.
She's lucky to be in Congress. Far too many immigrants end up being my wife. It's sad. Very sad. Clearly, Trump was fine with the crowd's chant. So why did he say he wasn't? Well, it turns out, according to reports, that when he got home from North Carolina, Trump took heat from Melania and Ivanka over the racist chants at his rally. A bold stance for the first daughter. "Listen, Dad, me and step-mom Leah are totally mad about the chant. As soon as we saw it, we rushed straight to our publicists so they could tell reporters how mad we were. Then we came here. Oh, and Eric swallowed a sock." Again. But when asked about it in Friday's Chopper Talk, Trump tried to get out in front of the backlash.
What did the First Lady and Ivanka advise you about the chant? I know you guys talked about it.
False information. It was fake news.
You never talked about it?
No, I talk about it, but they didn't advise me. They told me, but I didn't. It's fake. By the way, what you're saying, fake news.
I'm not going to stand here. No, I'm not going to stand here and let you accuse my daughter and my wife of being decent people. Fake news. No, what's it? What are you? You get it very small. Fake news. Trump wasn't the only one flailing to defend his actions. So was White House senior political advisor and guy with the kind of face that makes you understand why racists used to wear hoods, Stephen Miller. Miller sat down with Chris Wallace on the Fox News Sunday and argued that Trump and his crowd couldn't be racist because how dare you?
The term racist, Chris, has become a label that is too often deployed by the left, Democrats in this country, simply to try to silence and punish and suppress people they disagree with. I fundamentally disagree with the view that if you criticize somebody and they happen to be a different color skin, that makes it a racial criticism. If you want to have a colorblind society, it means you can criticize immigration policy, you can criticize people's views, you can ask questions about where they're born, and not have it be seen as racial.
Wait a second, that's not being colorblind, that's just ignoring racism. That's like saying, I hope one day to live in a post-punch-you-in-the-face society where I can punch you in the face, not automatically being accused of a face-punchist. Another Trump defender this weekend was Trump advisor and woman named after the sound of a luxury car running over a poor person. Mercedes Schlapp. Onomatopoeia.
That's right.
She said this.
I have worked with President Trump for 2 years,
and he is not a racist. He's a compassionate man whose policies have focused on the minority community.
I have worked with Cruella de Vil for the past 2 years. She is a compassionate woman whose policies have focused on the Dalmatian community. Then there was Vice President Mike Pence, who said this about the Send Her Back chant at Trump's rally.
The president wasn't pleased about it, neither was I. And the president's been very clear about that. Major, the president was very clear.
Was he?
That he wasn't happy about it. And that if it happened again, he'd make an effort to speak out about it.
Uh-oh. Somebody reboot Mike Pence. He's buffering. He might. Does not. Error, mother. President also got support from Wisconsin Senator and man watching the sandwich artist totally blow it, Ron Johnson, who said this on CNN.
I would say, in general, the whole America love it or leave it is not a new sentiment. You know, back in the 60s, that wasn't considered racist.
What a great litmus test for whether or not something is racist. It was okay in the 1960s. Remember the famous words of Martin Luther King, "I have a dream that someday things will be exactly as they are right now." It's a funny joke. Find out. Funny joke, or it would be if Johnson hadn't gone on to actually quote Martin Luther King.
What I would like to see is us moving toward that colorblind society, and where we really could embrace Dr. King's sentiment that let's judge people on the basis of the content of their character rather than the color of their skin.
We are judging Trump on the content of his character. He is a racist. We have no idea what the color of his skin is. I want to say raw chicken slathered with pumpkin spice.